Okay, great. So yeah, I don't know a lot about the command, but I know that you can do the leads, and I know that you have been getting them in on your command. And can you just explain how it comes in as the referral?
So like how the leads come in, you mean?
Yeah, like in your database, it is then marked as a referral, right? So you know that it came from that lead.
So it gets marked as a lead, uh,
Okay.
and then also it'll timestamp with the source of the lead from Facebook. So whatever campaign you're running, I always try and put an address, and then it sort of ties it to that for future reference, right? So you know where that lead source came from. So pretty.
I thank you. I knew that it could do that. I wasn't sure how it looked because I haven't ran a campaign through my command. So thank you.
Yeah,
So
no worries.
So basically, we're taking our leads and we're drilling down to get our appointments, whether it's a listing appointment or a buying appointment. We do want to focus on listing appointments because we know that listings control the market. We also know that from every listing, you're pretty much guaranteed at least one other deal, usually two. You should be getting a referral and you should be getting a buy from the open houses that you've been having. So it also allows us to gain market share and get our name in the marketplace. And then once you've had that listing and you sell it and you do a great job, then you can also advertise in the area from the door knocking, referrals, everything. So listings control the market. We really want to focus on getting listings. That being said, to have a healthy business, we need both listings and buys, right? So we want to make sure that we are getting both kinds of appointments, that we have both listings and buying appointments. I believe Daniela has sent out, or if you don't have it, reach out to Daniela. She will be sending out the listing and the buying guides. We were just revising them. And basically it takes you from point A of making the call to point F of having the deal paperwork to us, and what it takes, all the steps in between. So reach out to her if you need those guides. So once you get the appointment, then you want to get your agreement signed. So if you're taking your listing paperwork, and again, Daniela has all of the checklists and sheets that we put together of what's required, and your buying paperwork. So really you want to get the listing agreement signed, or you want to get the buyer rep signed, depending on what kind of appointment you're going on. That is the goal, and to get as many people under contract. I don't know why, but there has been a little bit of a bias sometimes that people think, oh, I can only put them under contract, and you can only put someone under contract for this property, or I can only put someone under contract for 2 months. Like, you can put someone under contract for as long as you want, for as long as they're willing to sign it. If it's over 6 months, there's an extra bubble. And if I start talking too fast, please just like put it in the chat, because that happens. So there's like a little bubble on the web forms, and you can get them to sign it for a year, 2 years, however long you think it's going to take to get that house extended by 6 to 8 months, because they might not find their dream home that they're looking for. They might need more money from the mortgage broker. But as soon as someone says to you, I am looking to make a move, or as soon as you've gotten that information from them, you should be getting them under buyer rep, like getting all the necessary information. And even if it takes like 2-3 years to like nurture them, get them under buyer rep. Because the worst thing in the world, and I've seen it happen time and time and time again, is that you've done all of the work, you've done all of the nurturing, and then they go choose a different agent to buy with. So get them under buyer rep for as long as you can, as quick as you can, as long as you feel, so this is the kind of like asterisks on that they are going to be a good buyer, that they're not going to put you in a position to risk your license. Because once you do have a signed buyer agreement, it's very hard to get out of, and you do have a fiduciary responsibility to that client. So if you don't feel comfortable with them, then don't walk away. It's better, you spend so much time and money to getting your license. If you have like an off feeling or an iffy feeling, and you will sometimes get that, you will get those types of people, then just walk away. And at the very least, you'll just get them to sign a customer service agreement once you've done the deal. You would not want to refer them as the buyer. And that's just your own personal judgment. Know who you're working with and know who you're getting into business with, because at the end of the day, it's your name on everything you're doing, and it's you that will be liable as the professional. So that's my little asterisk on that one.
Paige?
Yeah.
So you ask them to sign the buyer contract, and what if they say no? How do you tell them nicely that, okay, I you really have to sign that contract, or how do you?
Yep. So you just say like, why? Why do they not? So, okay, you've had the conversation, you've been working with this person. Why would they not want to sign the buyer rep? Like, what are they avoiding? And so really just how I tell people to handle it is that this is for your protection. You're going to be giving me a lot of information, from your social insurance number to your driver's license, you know, to your address, to basically everything that financially I'm going to know about you in order for me to service you effectively and to get you the best house or the best investment property, the best whatever you're selling them, that for you. So the buyer rep is really to protect you, because then I have a fiduciary responsibility to do my best for you. So, you know, if you don't want to work with me, then that's okay. But if you think that I am the best agent for you, then you have, like, there is no reason to not sign it.
Thank you.
You know, then this is for your protection.
And another thing that I tell people as well, once they sign that buyer rep, they're actually covered under your insurance. So if they, heaven forbid, have a slip or fall at a property or something, they'll be covered, right? So that's a big point of emphasis.
Yeah.
And also, you know, like Paige alluded to, you have a fiduciary obligation to them, right? So if you're privy to any information, divorces, all these little details, they will get that information from you. Whereas if they're not under contract, you're not obligated to share that info, right? So it's really, you know, advantageous for them.
Especially if you're going through a divorce. If you have a client going through a divorce, especially, because otherwise you're going to have to testify in court if you get called to testify. As an accountant, I actually have had to do, as an accountant and like the real estate brokerage, I've had to do deals under privilege. So what that means is the lawyer calls me and they say, we have this deal that needs to be done, or the agent lets me know we have this deal that needs to be done. And for every hour I work, the lawyer also gets billed. So I have to sign it. The lawyer sends me an agreement. I sign it that I will do the work under privilege. And for every hour that I bill, and for accounting, I bill $150 an hour. The lawyer usually bills about $700. And every hour is done under privilege. And it happens a lot during divorce because they don't want the other side. They don't want me to be called to the stand of the other side. So we've had it a couple of times in the real estate brokerage. And yeah, so that's just something. So if you also would not be then called to the stand, right? If you have the BRA signed. And that's something to know if your client is going through a super messy divorce, that you want to do every hour under privilege. And it happens. Is there any other questions at this point? Okay, great. So we're going to keep moving on. So basically the agreements, the contracts, also very important, your deals people will love you. Once a contract is signed, it needs to be sent to the office within 48 hours. That is the TRUB regulation, 48 hours into the office, whether it's a buy, a sale, a lease, doesn't matter, referral, 48 hours into the office. We do not always get the paperwork that quickly, but I like to take this time to encourage everyone. If we do have all of the paperwork completed on closing day, if we're the listing side, I usually close them the same day, sometimes the next day, depending on what happens, but usually the same day, so that you guys then get paid 2 days later. If we're the buying side and we're waiting on a check, or even if we're the listing side and we're waiting on a check, it usually takes about 10 days. But if you don't have your paperwork together, then you also can't get paid. So that's it. There's no real secret to real estate success. You follow the best models, you implement the best systems, and you commit to the best training. Ignite is the first step on your path to mastery. And that's John Davis, and that's it. There's no secret really to any success in life. It's just hard work. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to go over is the 4 conversations. Has anyone seen the sheet before or knows what the 4 conversations is?
Yep.
Yeah, I have.
Great. Okay, so for those of you who don't, we would have our listing appointments. And we're going to drill down from our goal to show you how many appointments you're going to need. And we're going to do that exercise together in a minute, but I just kind of want to go over what we're looking at here. So listing appointments, this month's actual, and then this month's goal. The listings taken. As a new agent, you're probably going to get about 25% of the listings that you, and that's a conservative number, we hope that you get more, but 25% of the listing appointments you go on, you might get taken as a new agent. As a seasoned agent, it should be about 75. So, you know, you're working your way up to that. So if that means if you have one appointment a week, you're still only going to get one taken every month, right? Closings then. So from that one listing taken, obviously you should at least have one closing, and really you should have 3 closings because you should get a referral and a buy out of that listing. And then your profit. And in the Toronto market where our average commission is, I think, about $15,000 a deal, you know, that would give you $45,000 a month. So that would be kind of the goal that that you should be looking at as a minimum, but obviously you have a lot of work to work up to that. So it is, I know my name and my numbers. So I just wanted to open, can you guys see the Word document?
It's still the 4 conversations.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop it and then restart it. Okay. Who wants to make 100,000 in real estate
Want
each
to
year?
make more than that.
Okay, perfect. So the very famous David Capelli says no one gets into real estate to make less than 100 grand. So usually, and it's easy for numbers. So usually I use this as my kind of goal, that you want $100,000 in your bank account at the end of the year. So does anyone know or give an idea of how much you actually need to do in GCI in order to have 100,000 in profit at the end of the year? Give me some numbers.
Near 140,000,
Higher.
160,000,
Higher.
200,000,
Getting closer. It's a little bit lower, but yeah. Getting.
180,000.
So yeah, I'm gonna go through the numbers. So
You're talking about netting 100?
we're talking netting 100.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're gonna net 100, how much is your cap in our office?
Is it 26?
22,000.
22?
And your royalty, Brad? Do you know the royalty?
3,000?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right. Okay. And does anyone have an idea what your tax rate would be on 100,000?
With all of that, it's like right around the 30%, I think.
Let's say 30%?
Yep, approximately. Might be a little bit lower depending on what you write off. And how much should you be putting into your business for marketing to run your business? How much will that cost you?
I mean, depends on the model you're following, but operating expenses should be no more than 30%.
Yep.
So at anywhere from 5,000 to 30,000.
Right. So I usually say about 30. So you don't want to be running it too skimpy. During this time, you would probably want to cut that down to about 20. You don't want to run it at 5 because then you're not growing your business, right? You're going to be getting that 600,000 every year. So this is just a very basic way to show you that if you want 100 grand in your bank account at the end of the year, then you need to do 185,000 worth of GCI. So if our average commission in Toronto is 950,000 and you're getting didn't run these numbers ahead of time. Can anyone tell me what that is?
It'll be like
2.5% per
20,
Yeah,
22,000, like anywhere between 20 and 22,000, I think.
23,750. Okay, so then that's our average sale. So if we go 185 divided by 23,750, you need to have 8 sales a year. So then how many listing appointments do we need a month?
Well, depends on your, I didn't hear what you said your conversion ratio is, or conversion rate is.
Your conversion rate is going to be about 25% as a new agent.
Oh, so 4 times that.
36 appointments or
Well, yeah, 32.
32? Close enough.
So you need 32 a year. So if you go 32 divided by 12, that means you need to go on 3 a month. So pretty much 1 a week in order to get your 8 sales. And that's being super conservative because that's saying that you're not going to get a buy or referral or something from any of those deals, right? When I'm telling you, you should. So, but in order to guarantee yourself the 8 sales a year, you need to go on 32 listing appointments. And does that sound super scary to anyone?
Nope.
So
No, it's going to be fun.
it's going to be fun. And so to get 32 listing appointments, can you tell me, do any of you know what the average number of calls you need to make?
Isn't it like 100 calls for 10 leads for 1 appointment?
Yep.
Ish.
Yep. Very good. So that's just a basic sales strategy in anything. I used to sell makeup for a living. So for every 10 people you ask, so I worked at Holtz, and for every 10 people that walk by you, 1 person will sit in your chair on average. And then for every like 2 or 3 people that you do their makeup, 1 will buy, right? So for basic sales strategy, it's 110 to 1. So you're gonna have to make like 320 phone calls plus to get your 8 sales a year.
That sounds like 320 contacts.
320 contacts, yep.
But that still sounds like nothing.
It's not, honestly, it's not that much, right? So when people say, I don't have time, well, what didn't you have time for, right? And really it's just about choices. Like everything in life is just a choice. And so it's, do I pick up the phone? And we say you need to lead generate for, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, and now during both 4 hours a day. And really during a shift, you should be in order to be consistent in your business, because it's probably going to take 200 phone calls for that 1 listing appointment during this time, because you have the fear, the pandemic, people's finances, like it's just going to take a little bit longer, right? So it's just hard work. My other favorite saying is, I don't have 4 hours, so I'm not going to do anything. Well, it doesn't matter. Do you have 10 minutes to make a couple of phone calls? Because not doing anything is definitely going to guarantee that you're never going to get a listing appointment. But at least making, 3 phone calls may guarantee or get you closer to getting that 1 appointment. So you never know who is willing to buy, who is willing to sell, who needs to buy, who needs to sell, what they're going through in their life. I had a phone call today. Someone needs a letter of an opinion because their mom passed away, and they're not even sure what they're going to do with the house, but they need the letter of opinion because upon death, it's a deemed disposition of sale. And in order to be able to close out the taxes, they need to have a letter of opinion. So great. This lady is grieving. She has no idea where to turn. She's Googling where to turn to. She's calling us. And so I'm helping her as best I knew right away what she was talking about. I'm trying, helping her with an agent in her area that knows is going to be sensitive to the situation. But also, if they handle that well, how great is that lady going to be so grateful to them and be able to speak about them and give that business, give them so much business, because all she's going to remember is during my time of need, this person helped me. Right? So we just really need to come from that kind of sales and service and like heart, really like follow your heart in order and do the right thing, always do the right thing, of what you believe is the right thing, because it will pay off in the end, and helping people. So you never know. Laura, I know you said you had the call bias, that maybe they won't remember you. So you know what, maybe they won't, and who cares, right? So if you have one person that goes, oh, like, or even 10 people that say, like, I don't remember you, whatever, and you can just say that's okay, and then even keep the conversation going. Who do you know that needs to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Or do you know anyone that needs help? I'm an agent. I have so many contacts, databases, and right now we're just really reaching out to people in our area and offering our service of anything I can help you with. So, you know, make it a couple of people that slam the phone down on you, but who cares? You're never going to see them again. You're never going to talk to them again. Right? So just, and most people will say, like, hey, I remember you. And with Laura, she has amazing shoes all the time. So she wears these amazing high heels, a different pair every day. I don't think I've ever seen her wear the same pair twice. And, you know, they're just going to be happy to hear from you, especially during this time. We have no idea what people are going through. We have no idea what their marriages are going through, what their relationships are going through. People are passing away. If they have anyone to talk to, if they live alone, like, we have no clue. So you might be that friendly voice that day, right? I had another person call me. I haven't talked to since grade 8, but we are Facebook friends. And she reached out to me and said, I think I'm going to lose my house. My husband lost his job. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know who else to ask. So you never, ever know. And I come from a small town, so it was probably easier for her to reach out to me because she knew that I was going to be friendly. But you just never know. So pick up the phone, you know, and in that situation, it's better for them to sell to get some equity that they can get out and maybe downsize into a different house than it would be for her to sit for another 6 months and have it foreclosed on, right? So we never ever know, and that are my kind of 2 stories about call bias. So that's it. Does anyone else have successes that they want to share, or, you know, a good story that they want to share?
Just a quick note about people not remembering you. In my experience, if you remember somebody's name and they don't, the first thing they'll say to you is, I'm really sorry, I don't remember you. They don't get mad at you. They apologize. So yeah. I don't find that's a real problem.
Yeah, no, thank you, Michael. Does anyone else have something to share? No? Okay. So any questions on the calculations?
Paige?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to share something with you guys.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm not working. I feel like I'm out of everything, stuck at home, right? So I've been trying to work with my social media, and once a week I make a video. You know, I'm Spanish. I mostly work with my community.
Yep.
And I make videos about like how you guys are feeling, how you guys are coping with these things that are going on. And then I talk about the real estate too, a little bit, okay? And I say, you know, there is so many times that people, as a realtors, we think that you guys know what's the process of buying or selling. Like we just assume that people should know. And sometimes I take it from my own experience. When I bought my first house, I needed so much information and I couldn't get it because we, the professionals, we do it every day that we just think that everybody knows as much as we know. So I start talking about that and I just create a conversation. And then the good thing was, like, I do these videos very often, and I did it on Sunday, and on Monday somebody called me and said, Laura, we watch your video and you write and we want to buy something. And then we just kind of connect, and I got the emails, phone numbers, and then I'm talking to them. And just for a simple face live video that I do. So those are the things that make me feel like, okay, so I think it's working. I'm just doing it because I have nothing else to do, right? But I do it. And then when I get calls from the people asking me for, because I talk about everything, about the government benefits. I talk about where you guys can apply. I talk about real estate and how is the market and things like that. And then they call me and they ask me questions. Of course, I read a lot about what's going on, so I can give them the right information. But that's the only thing I feel like I'm trying to work on my business, but not really feeling like I'm doing a lot, right? But that's what I'm doing. I don't know, I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you so much, Laura, for sharing. And like during this time, you know, we all have so many emotions, so many things going on personally, that it's just do what you can, reach out to people, and coming from that like caring heart, like, you know, how are you doing? What can I help you with? That's really what the conversation would be about. I know you're mostly all in bold and you're really hearing it. It's really those care calls. And to do that is great. Post a video, and you never know who needed to see that video, right? You never know that you just like with your smiling face cheered up someone and made their day.
But I'm shy, you know, like I'm shy, like I'm not an actress or anything. So it's hard for me to do the videos, but I just do it just for fun, and I try to have fun when I do it. And it's just people are calling, they calling. So I'm not even calling them, they calling me. So I'm like,
yeah,
shame on me. So I'm not calling my people, right?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I'm shy too. Like this is very hard for me. This is super out of my comfort zone. And that's why I'm taking bold, because I'm happy to talk to people when they call me. I don't want to call people. And that's why I'm taking bold, so that I can get out of my comfort zone. And
I sweat.
Yeah.
You know, like when you go on camera, I actually sweat, and I'm like, I look happy, but I'm actually sweating and I'm on camera, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plan, right?
But it's like, it's just getting over that, like, who cares? I'm just going to move it forward. That's it. And I'm just going to like do me, live my best life. And it's just really, what do you want out of life? What is your big why? Why are you doing this? Why did you get into real estate? You know, what do you want? For me, my husband doesn't work. He works like part-time. And I have 3 kids. I used to be a makeup artist, you know, making like 50 grand a year. And my son was diagnosed with Asperger's. And I had no idea at the time how much money I was going to need for support for him, because he was 4. He's now almost 11. So it's been minimal, and we've been really lucky. But I decided at that time to go back to school and get my accounting degree, because I was going to need more money. And I kind of fell into real estate because I was just, I had also blown my knee. So I was not really going to be able to stand every day and do makeup anymore. And my mom was an accountant, so it just was easy for me. And I went back to school, and and just was like, I need more money. And then I just was looking for a part-time job, and I happened to get a reception at a real estate office. And within 9 months, I took over as the office administrator, and I was mostly doing the deals processing. I happened to know Penny from the owner of the Oakville Burlington offices, and she reached out with this opportunity, and that's why I'm sitting here today. So you really never know, like when you talk to someone, what that's going to get you like later, right? Because so I had talked to Penny like as a makeup artist, and then she reached out to me and was like, oh, I know you're doing real estate now. Are you interested in this opportunity? Just because she liked me. That's it, right? So you just never know. And it's really drilling down to your big why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want that big life? Does anyone want to share their big why? So no pressure if you don't want to share. I just want to go back to these numbers, which we will be getting more in depth in Agent Financials if you guys choose to join me. Does anyone have any questions about this, about how we calculated this, anything?
I'm assuming you're using, what are you using, like a 70-30 split there, or?
So yes, so well, if you, yes, you're on a 70-30. If you did the 100 grand, you would cap, right? So if you do, I think it's just under 75,000, it's 74 something. I don't have the number off the top of my head. In GCI, then you will have, if in profit, sorry, then you will have paid your cap and your royalty.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, so it's just under 4 million in sales volume. It's like 3.7, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Paige, actually, I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Like after signing buyer representation agreement, like we have to send that form to the office, or like it's fine? Like,
Oh, no. If you sign a listing, you have to send it to the office. If you sign a buyer rep, no, you don't. Not until you have a deal.
okay, gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? No?
Nope.
Okay. So this was pretty much know your numbers, know how to calculate your conversion rate. I believe you're all KW agents. So when you sign on, I'm just going to show you then, I'm going to stop this share and show you how to find, once you put in 1 full year in real estate, then you will be able to find your numbers very easily on my KW. This one doesn't like me today. Give me a second here. And I mean, it is also kind of easy to calculate them. And if you ever need help with that, then I'm super happy to help you with that also. Okay, so when you sign into your MyKW, there's a thing here that says reports. Can you guys see when it switches to the tab?
Yep.
Okay, so then you would go under reports, associate production lookup. And it takes like a while like this usually. And you would see, you would come to your reports section. And what you really want to look at is your multi-year trends. So it will show you year over year over year in like, I think 14 different, more than 14 different, it's like 14-page report usually. Like so many different categories of like how many appointments you had, how many deals you had, everything. It will show you everything. And I have everyone's here for our brokerage. I'm just gonna see if it does pull mine. Yes, it does, perfect. So I obviously don't have any information, but you can see it would give you these reports here. So if you click on one, then it would tell you your CGI appointments, your closed units, your closed sales volume, your listings taken, and it will just tell you everything here. It will give you all of these categories. So it's really a good tool once you have 1 full year of real estate in to be looking at this. And your agent 1099 income is your profit share. So that will be tracked for you also. So that's just something. So today is just all about setting the habits, making sure that you're using Command, making sure that you're using your CRM and following up with your clients and doing your lead generation daily. And it's just whatever time that you can carve out to get your lead generation going, really. So I know that a lot of you have other things going on, have another job, you know, have people that you take care of. So it's really just booking your time first and saying, you know, I have half an hour in the morning before work, or before I go do what I do, or I have half an hour in the evening, or I have my lunch break or whatever, and I'm gonna make like 3 calls today. That's it. Just like it's just consistency every day. And not, yep.
Is that information derived from what we put in Command, or?
No, this is derived from your closed deals.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So when you submit your deal paperwork and I close it through Lone Wolf, I also every month close the deals through Winmore. So when I put it to Winmore and then I transmit the month, the information is then loaded onto my KW.
So where did you go, Paige?
Yep, so you just go to the MyKW.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I just want to show it again. Give me a second. I'm not a tech person.
Hey,
Yes.
can I sign up for my KW? I'm not an agent yet.
So no, once we get you in, then you'll get signed up for it. But yeah, I will be taking you through that process. So Laura, when you go here, you sign in, you go to reports,
Uh-huh.
associate,
Yeah.
associate production lookup.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then it will only, for you, it will only bring up yours. For me, it brings up every agent in the brokerage.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? And then you really want to look at the multi-year trend. I mean, look at all of the reports. It's good to know them, but the multi-year trends I find gives you like the most information. Okay, so really the only thing we have left to talk about then is scripts. Does everybody have a script partner?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. What about the other people? Do you have a script partner?
Nope.
I do.
No. Chris does. Okay. So Kanush, we're going to get you a script partner. We're going to put you, so I know on Facebook some people had reached out that they need a script partner. So let me see who I can get going for you. Michael O'Keefe, do you have a script partner?
Yeah, I'm good. Yes.
Okay. So then it's just about, you know, writing the script. And I actually had a question today. Do I have to read the script every time? And actually, no, we don't want you to read the script. We want you to sound authentic and have a two-way conversation. But we want you to know where to take the conversation. When you ask a question, they're going to give any given answer, right? So no matter what answer they give you, we want you to be able to redirect the conversation to where you want it to go. So there's another Keller Williams saying, and I really love all these Keller Williams sayings, that an amateur practices until they get it right, and a professional practices to never get it wrong. So no matter what answer they give you, you need to know how you're going to take the conversation and move it forward to where you want it to end up. And you want it to end up with a referral, ideally, or they're going for a listing appointment. So one of two ways there. So it's just practicing the scripts, knowing how to take the conversations, and really just knowing how to overcome each and every objection that you would ever get. Is everyone solid with that?
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Okay, great. So I actually have two script partners because I just had an agent say to me like that they weren't comfortable working with anyone else. So I was like, sure, no problem. And Susie and I are taking Bold together, my Dofi. So her and I are script partners too. So I'm doing scripts twice a day, which is going to be super beneficial for me. But yeah, I really encourage you all to have a script partner. And if you're also not comfortable to talk to anyone else, I am happy to take on a third, fourth, whatever you need. It's, just 10 minutes a day. You go over your script one time and I'll give you some pointers of holes or how you can perfect it. That's it. So
Sorry, Paige, I've got to jump off the call, but thank you very much.
Thanks, Michael. Take care. We're actually going to wrap up pretty soon, I think. Unless anyone has any more questions, because really it's just blast off. And I wanted to thank you all so much for coming, for participating in Ignite. Thanks, Noosh, for sharing your contacts. If you all want to throw your contacts in, super happy to have it. And you can always reach out to me. Let me throw mine in there. And I'm so happy. I hope that you guys got a lot of value. If you have any tips for us of how I can improve this training session online, because A, I have never ran Ignite before, and B, I've never ran it online, so of how we can improve it, then we're super happy to have those tips also. And yeah, unless anyone has any questions, that's really all I came to tell you today, and to thank you for participating.
Thank you very much for everything.
Thank
You.
Yeah,
And
thanks so much, Paige.
plug my agent financials again, which is Wednesday. So if anyone wants to take it, reach out to us.
Super.
In touch.
Cool.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paige.
Thanks.
Will you not end it for a second so I can copy all this down? Because this
Yeah.
disappears.
Yeah, no problem.
And it was next Wednesday at 1:30, right?
Yeah, the 13th, 1:30.
That's the next class?
No, this is it.
This is it for Ignite. I'm teaching agent financials, which is basically going from revenue, expenses to profit. And I've also adapted it for the Canadian tax standards. And so we'll be going through that. We have workbooks at the office that you can follow along with. So if you are able to grab one from the office before next Wednesday, then I recommend you do so. If you live in the West End, I'm happy to drop it off as I drive by. I live in Etobicoke.
So Wednesday, 1:30?
1:30 next Wednesday via Zoom. Yep. So if you either live near the office here at Dundas and Kiel or in the West End, I live Lakeshore and Long Branch, but I'm happy, I drive, so I'm happy to deliver the manual. Just let me know, or you can pop by the office and grab one.
Paige, I would like to ask you for some help.
Yeah.
I found out, for example, when I get in touch with the client, depending what the client wants, if he wants to buy or he wants to sell,
Mm-hmm.
and to set them in a program, right? Like the automatic emails,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody is kind of special, right? So you had to kind of, I don't have any specific emails that I want to send, so I had to like create them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you can help me to guide me, like, okay, what should we give them first? For example, I don't know, I was thinking first, probably like a letter saying, well, I'm happy that I'm going to work with you or something like that, and things like that, like a welcome letter.
Mm-hmm.
The first email, but I don't want to send all the emails the first week.
Right. So
Like I'd rather give them time to read it and not bombard the client with so many emails, right?
right.
And I think that's what I need help on it.
Sure. So there are smart plans in Command set up, and they would just be easy to do. The other, if you want to have your own kind of custom materials, then you want to take the advice from the MREA, which is every 3 days for the first week. So I think it's like the first 2 weeks, actually, like 3, 6, 9, 12, that you want to be reaching out to the clients. And then it's just like once a week.
Okay.
So you want to make sure you get the first 3 touches in quite quickly so that they don't like forget you, or they understand that you're there for them. And you also have to kind of take that from the client, right? Some clients, if you don't call them every day or every hour, they're going to be like, what's wrong? Like, why aren't you calling me? Like, I need to know, like, right? Especially if they're like an active client looking for a house or selling their house.
And also another criteria, right? You have to qualify whether they're like super ready or they are like in 6 months or 90, I don't know, 6 months, 1 year. So it depends what the client is, right? So I think it just came to my mind, like I need.
Oh, you're cutting out, Laura.
I'm not ready, you know?
Yep. So
make me feel like I'm not ready to like set these people into something. So I keep it manual, right? I keep in touch with people manually, and that's even harder and worse.
So it's worse. You just really have to kind of put everyone into Command and put them on a smart plan and set up a smart plan. I believe they're customizable now. That is more Daniela's realm, but you can reach out to her. I'll let her know that you need help. And or Varun is really great with anything Command. He has really dived into it. He's our tech ambassador for the office. And he's really good, but for content wise, I'm happy to help with that too. Reach out. But for actually setting the smart plans, I'm not super tech savvy. But I know that you want to set a smart plan for everyone in your database. It will put in their name and, make it, as long as your wording sounds not generic, but we want to be, personally generic, so that everyone feels that they're getting a personal email, even though it's automated for you. Because that's going to help you to control your database. If you're feeling overwhelmed with it as well, they're going to be getting touches and you don't need to do anything. So that is what I would really recommend, is really kind of digging into Command and getting those set up and doing it that way. And you can set it every 3 days in the beginning. I believe the Command ones are set that way anyway, because it's based on the MREA, that it's like the first day, 3 days, 6 days, 9 days maybe, and then it's like every week.
Any of you in the group use anything else for the after you talk to the client? You guys set it up in anything else?
What do you mean?
How do you nurture your clients?
Everything that I'm going to be using will be mostly through command with either an email drip campaign or a Facebook email drip campaign, Facebook drip campaign, some type of actual mailing, like a physical mail once this is a little, it's okay to do that again, and the phone calls or text.
Mm-hmm. And then if you put them on like a quarterly call campaign, or as actually Bold is teaching us, we're going to be calling them every 6 weeks, then it'll just pop up for you, right? You'll know who you're calling every 6 weeks.
I will reach out to Daniela then.
Yeah, and get her to help you to set it up.
Yeah, just to set up. The first time is hard, but I know probably later on it's going to make things easier for me.
Yeah, oh, for sure. It's going to be a lot of work in the beginning, but yeah, as you grow your business and expand your database, and really kind of cultivate your database, it will make your life a lot easier in the long run.
There's if you're looking for help, there's two gentlemen. One, his name is Jay Cermak. He's from the States, and he's like, I'm going to say he's like the head command trainer for the States. He has a lot of videos on his YouTube page and his website. You can just look up, they're pre-recorded. He does live trainings, I think twice a week, but you can go back and basically learn everything on command through him.
How do you spell that?
Can you write?
Jay
Mm-hmm.
Cermak or Mack. I'm not sure, but if you just search Jay
Yeah.
Cermak KW, she'll show up.
Thank you.
And then Ryan Turnbull is the Canadian tech guy that does stuff, because not everything the States has we have yet, or other way around. We don't have everything the States has yet.
Josh Bickle is really good.
He's great. He doesn't have videos up yet. Like,
Yeah.
I know Jay Cermak, you can basically learn anything. I think Ryan does as well. And Ryan teaches a class every day from 11 to 12.
Yeah. Yeah. And Marty, have you watched the Marty Miller ones?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I know Marty Miller does some too, but I haven't watched them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
I always like getting any information that I can pass along. Yeah, so I think it's just getting in and getting that set up and kind of taking the time to learn it. I also need to take the time to learn it, but right now I've more focused on training and delving into helping our agents our current agents in their business, as well as running the brokerage. It's really all I have time for right now. And Daniela has been kind of spearheading the command.
Yeah, with command, you could spend 3-4 weeks, 8 hours, not 8 hours a day, but 3 hours a day, and probably still not know everything.
Yeah.
But these people have great kind of like, this is the first 10 things you should do in order to start yourself up on it, and super easy, simple walkthroughs. And then you can kind of like, they all suggest just playing around with it. Like, know the basics and then just learn. Like, just go out, see what works for you, see what doesn't.
Yep.
And always set yourself up on something before you send it to someone else is another suggestion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Good luck, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Good luck.
No, thank you for everything.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. And if I can help you in any, I'll let Daniela know to reach out to you. And if I can help you guys in any other way, please don't hesitate.
Paige.
Yeah.
I haven't done the other ignites, so should I reach out to Daniela to add me to the?
I'll get her. Yeah, I'll ask her to send you the.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, take care.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.